Austin, who is 34, will never forget the summer of 2006. It was an ordinary sunny day. His alarm goes off for work, and that's his cue to get up, get ready. He was running late, and he rushes out his front door and hops on his much-loved motorbike. On his way to work, a car merged into the next lane, not seeing Mike, and hits him. The impact crushes his leg between his motorbike and the car. Dozing in and out of consciousness, he is run to the hospital. As soon as he arrived to the hospital, blood was being pumped not only into both of his arms, but also his neck. He was losing blood faster than it was being transfused. By the end of his surgery, of putting his leg back together, Mike's entire blood was replaced 4 times. Now ask yourself this: where do you think all this excess blood comes from? Today I will be talking to you about why donating blood is so important, what blood consists of, what type of bloods exist, what types of groups of blood exist, and what benefits personally come out of donating blood. First and foremost, the main advantage of donating blood is the feeling of saving someone's life. In the story about Mike, if people did not donate any blood to his specific blood type, then he might not be alive today. Imagine how you would feel if you were part of those 4 people who donated that blood and saved his life. Medlineplus, which is a service of the U.S. National Library of Medicine, states, someone needs blood every 3 seconds in this country. An average 40,000 units of blood are needed each day. 60% of the United States population will need blood at some point in their lives, yet less than 5% donates. There's no substitute for human blood because of the existence of certain protein molecules called antigens and antibodies. Individuals have different types and combinations of these molecules. Based on the combination of these molecules, there are 3 blood types that can either be absent, which is known as negative, or present, which is known as positive. These groups are Group A, Group B, Group AB, and Group O. Group O can donate red blood cells to anybody, which is called a universal donor. Group A can only donate red blood cells to Group A or Group AB. Group B can only donate red blood cells to Group B or Group AB, whereas Group AB can only donate to other groups ABs. As stated on the official website of Noble Media, an adult human has about 6 liters of blood circulating in the body. Blood transports oxygen to various parts of the body. It contains several cells, which are red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. Typically 2 to 3 of these can be reduced in a whole pint of blood, which means a pint of blood can save up to 3 lives. Dr. Dan Rutherford expresses, Americans tend to consume more iron on a daily basis than is necessary for good health. Taking in iron beyond a certain quality can form free radicals in the body. Free radicals cause cellular changes, which can disrupt normal cell functions and increase the risk of certain chronic diseases such as heart disease or cancer. This is more likely to be a problem for men and women who are menopausal, since women shed iron when they are on their menstrual cycles. If a person happens to eat red meat, the risk of iron overload can be higher than somebody that doesn't eat red meat. By donating blood 3 times a year, this can reduce the risk of a heart attack or cancer by 50%. Because of the reduction of iron, blood donates also burns extra calories and it reduces individual cholesterol level. After this, the count of blood cells decreases, which stimulates the bone marrow to produce new red blood cells in order to restock the loss. So it stimulates the production of new blood cells and refreshes the system. Donating blood is a safe and easy process that is nothing to stress about. A sterile needle is used once for each donor and then discarded. According to the American Red Cross, the donation process from the time you arrive until the time you leave takes only about an hour. The donation itself is only 8 to 10 minutes long. Blood donation consists of a 4-step process. The first step is registration. Depending on what agency you go to donate blood, staff and volunteers will sign you in and also go through basic information. They will ask you for any proof of identification. The second step is health history and a mini physical. You will have to answer some questions about your health history, where you have traveled to, and in a private interview. After these questions have been answered, staffs or volunteers will take your temperature, pulse, blood pressure, and hemoglobin level in the blood. Step 3 is the donation process. The arm will be sterilized, and a staff member or volunteer will insert a sterile needle. When a pint of blood has been donated, the donation is complete, and a Band-Aid is used to cover the punctured area. Step 4 is the refreshment stage. The staff members and volunteers require you to eat a snack and eat something within 10 to 15 minutes, and then you guys can go back to your daily activities. There are many places where you can donate blood. If you just search in the general search engine, the first website that usually pops up is the American Red Cross, and there's a designated spot where you can put I want to donate blood and then fill out information there. Also on Fullerton College campus in the quad, every event fair, there is a booth out there saying we need you to donate blood, and it's usually from the American Red Cross, so you can always donate blood there. You guys do it on the spot, and it takes about, I said, about an hour. It's not often that you can spend 15 minutes of your time and know that you have made a contribution to someone's medical care. By donating blood, you are not only saving someone's life, but also contributing towards your own medical health. I personally encourage you to donate blood as frequently as you can in order to get rid of this need for excess blood. Even though you may have a little discomfort after you are done donating, just remember that someone out there needs your blood more than you do. Thank you.
Katya, what did you think?
I thought her introduction story was good. I thought her rhetorical questions were good emotional appeals, and she had a lot of interesting facts, like, for example, like the blood and all the how it works and stuff. I thought it was really interesting. And I just probably improve on the second point. It was more informative than persuasive, and a little bit more eye contact. I guess sure that'd be it.
All right. Yeah, I think the story works well at the beginning. You've got an excellent transition to the main topic. There's a good setup of what the supporting structure is going to be. I think in the body of the speech, you don't keep that supporting structure quite as clear as it ought to be. For example, you start inserting this thing about the iron and free radicals, and I'm going, what the hell has this got to do with anything that's being talked about? And then kind of after that, you sort of backtrack into it and say, this is basically a benefit to the donor that's going on there. And that wasn't very clear at all, so it felt like in a couple of spots that things were slightly out of context. You needed to have a stronger set of signposts in the body of the speech, even though you'd set them up at the beginning. I did think that you had a nice summary and a good exit for the most part. I did like most of the information that you had in the speech. Sometimes it does sound like it's an informative speech because you're describing the process that people go through and what the need is, but I thought you had good statistical information on the need issue that's going on, and the description of what the process is all an attempt to make it more acceptable to the audience, and I think that there's a place where you can maybe develop a few more emotional appeals. The opening example is a good example, but I think you could use a little bit more also in the body of the speech to develop some of those emotional appeals instead of just giving us kind of a informative presentation on